Hello, welcome to the weekly vlog. I am currently reading two things. So first on my Kindle, I am reading For Whom the Bell Tolls by Jaysea Lynn, and right now I'm 76% of the way through, and I am still so incredibly obsessed with this book. Oh my god, I cannot get over it. It's so fun. This one is about a woman who, at the start of the book, she has just passed away, and it's about her afterlife, where she decides to spend her paradise running a help desk at the gates of hell in order to help out the demons who she's become friends with, because a whole bunch of mortal souls getting into hell are obviously not very nice, and they cause all this trouble for them, and they hold up the line and that kind of thing. So she puts up a help desk, that way all the rowdy ones will come to her, and she gets to basically just do customer service, except she gets to yell back and be sassy, and also has a trusty bat at her side for the really bad ones. There's also a romance involved and found family and all these beautiful things. This book has had me bawling my eyes out. Oh my god, it's so good. This book is hilarious. The banter is incredible. The main character is really sarcastic and has very dry humor, which I love. Her and the love interest are hilarious together. I love all of the demon friends and everything. There's so much good happening here, but it's also really thoughtful. There's lots of grief. There are a lot of triggers for sexual assault, including towards a small child. There's religious trauma, a whole bunch of things in here. So it's not just a fun, silly book. There's also a lot more to it. It's a very, very well-rounded book so far. I love the way that the main character has been talking about grief and grieving her own life and grieving her family who lost her. And yeah, this is just a really, really good book. It's very long. It's 700 pages. And I'm enjoying every single one of those pages. I haven't gotten bored a single time, which is shocking for me. I have a really hard time keeping my attention for like really long books, but this one has kept me engaged the entire way through. So kudos to the author for being able to do that. But yeah, I'll probably finish that, I'm hoping, tonight. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see, but either way, in the next couple of days, I will have that done. And then I'm not really sure what else I'm planning on reading this week. I am also reading another book right now that's for a separate blog that I'll keep it a secret. So I've got two things on the go right now, but aside from that, I don't really know what else I'm planning on doing. Also, unintentionally skipped Backlist Bash this month. I just kept getting sidetracked by other things and never ended up starting my first book for that. I bought it. I still have some Audible credits left, so I ended up getting the audiobook for Skyward by Brandon Sanderson with the intention of starting it for Backlist Bash, and then just didn't do that. And now there's only a week left in the month, and I'm definitely not gonna have the time to do a whole episode of Backlist Bash. So unintentionally took a break for this month. My bad, but it'll be back next month, so whoopsies. But yeah, anyways, not too sure what else I'm planning on reading for this week, but I'll figure that out. I do want to get some more sequels in before the end of the month. My ongoing series list is looking abysmal right now, and I need to fix it. So maybe aside from my two current reads, this will be a sequels only week. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, I have to go finish editing last week's vlog, put it up, and then get ready for work afterwards. Hopefully I'll have some time to squeeze in some reading before then. I'm gonna go do those things, and we'll chat later on. Okay, happy Saturday, everybody. I have not done a whole lot of reading this week, actually. Today and last night, I finished the 2 books that I was reading, and that's really all that I've done. So I finished reading For Whom the Bell Tolls last night, and oh my god. I am so sad that this book is over. It took me about 2 weeks to read it, partially because it is so long, it's 700 pages, but also I just didn't want it to end. I was having so much fun with it that I was really taking my time and dragging through the last part of it because I didn't want it to be over. And that's not a common thing to happen to me. Normally, if I'm reading a book for longer than a week, I'm like, okay, let's go. And I start to get bored of it after a while, but that was not the case with this one. This book could have been double the length and I would have been happy about it. Oh, it was so good. I loved everything about this book. The characters and the atmosphere were definitely the best part of this. If there is an afterlife, this is what I want it to be. Absolutely, this would be my ideal afterlife. I loved the world building and how expansive it was. And I hope in future books, we also get to go explore more of the worlds and more of the afterlives. That would be sick to see. And yeah, the characters are phenomenal. All of them, all the side characters as well. Everybody had such a personality and they were all very distinct. Everybody had their own voice that I could easily hear. Everyone was hilarious and sweet, and I loved the found family elements to this. It was all just so wonderful. I had a blast with this book and I gave it 5 stars, of course. I could tell from the first 10% that this was going to be a 5-star read for me, and I'm very happy that this book did not go downhill after that. I would have been heartbroken. But yeah, amazing read. I had a blast with it and I can't wait for future books. I have no idea how many books are going to be in this series. I hope a lot. That would be amazing. I don't even know if the next book is even announced yet or if it's in works. No clue, but I can't wait to get my hands on the next book in the series whenever that might come out. And then the other book that I was reading was for a different project vlog that I've been working on, but I'm actually not going to include it in that video. I mean, I can talk about it here. So I was reading Descendant by Tanya Huff the last couple days and sadly did not love it as much as I hoped I would. I did enjoy it. The second half was much better, but the first half was pretty rocky, I'm not gonna lie, which sucks because this book is right up my alley. It's a cozy queer horror with an eldritch terror set in a small town, which is so my kind of book. And again, I didn't dislike it, but it just wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. The characters got really good, but at first everything was just really tacky, I guess would be the right word for it. It felt very silly and not in the fun way, just in the bad writing kind of way. But once I leaned into the silliness, it got better, but it did just have that rocky start. And I didn't go into this book expecting a serious book. I knew that it was going to be silly. The tagline for this book is "Don't cuddle the eldritch horror" or something like that. So I knew that it was a silly book, but the level that it was at, I wasn't quite expecting. So it kind of took me aback for a bit, but I did get used to it and ended up enjoying it more. But I still didn't love it. So I ended up on a 3-star for that one, which is still a good rating. But that's my rating for books that were good enough to finish, but not one that I'll think about for longer than the time that it took me to read it and review it, basically. And then aside from that, I've also started reading The Spaceman of Bohemia for an episode of Page to Screen, so I'm not going to talk about it here, but just to mention what I'm currently reading, it is this one. And then I would also like to start a new audiobook today as well, but I don't know what yet. I'll figure it out. But I'm gonna go and do some cleaning, I think, and just kind of get some stuff done around the house. I've been too busy this week to do much of anything, so my house is falling apart currently, so I have to go fix that. Happy Monday. It's time to wrap up this week's vlog. This was not the best week for me, sadly, in terms of reading. I had a 5-star, which is always wonderful, but the rest of my reads were just kind of okay. I think in the last update I had finished Direct Descendant and gave that one a 3-star. Oh, Tony says hi. So after that, I picked up Spaceman of Bohemia and also did not love this one. You'll hear my full thoughts on it in Page to Screen whenever that comes out. Hopefully soon, maybe this week. We'll see. But yeah, this was good, but just kind of an okay read. I gave it, I think a 3.5 star, I want to say, maybe a 3-star. I kind of forget right now. I'm half asleep, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, you'll hear a full review on that in Page to Screen sometime soon. And then for audio, I picked up Hammajang Luck by Makana Yamamoto, I think was the name, maybe. The picture's here. And this was really good. I did like it, but I didn't fall in love with it, you know? I don't know how much I like heist stories anymore. I like them in theory, and I think I like them better as movies. They give me Mission Impossible any day. I love a good heist movie, and I would watch them every single day. And I definitely like it in book form, but I don't know if I love it as much as I thought I did. Because whenever I've read them recently, I've always just kind of mid on them, because I find after a while the plot gets kind of meandering, and I was kind of ready for it to be over, usually by the halfway point, where I'm like, okay, just get on with it. Like, I get it. We've been preparing for this heist forever. Just go do the damn thing. And that's kind of how I felt about this one. The shining star, of course, was the character. That's why I love heist stories the most, because it's usually some ragtag group of people who didn't know each other prior to the start of the heist, and they all become really close and become family because of the heist, and I love that. Actually, this book reminded me a lot of a sci-fi version of Baby Driver, which is one of my #1 favorite movies of all time. It's a comfort movie. I watch it all the time. I adore that movie, and the characters in this really made me think of that movie, which is a huge compliment. So yeah, there were definitely elements of this that I really enjoyed. It just wasn't as engaging, and it didn't keep my attention as well as it could have. But overall, it was a pretty solid story. I actually haven't put it through Pawpaw yet, but I'm thinking it'll probably get like a 3.5 star, maybe a 4-star. We'll see, but one of those two at least. And yeah, that's all the reading that I did last week. Only 2.5 books, which is kind of rare for me, but what can you do? It was a busy week though, so that does make sense. But yeah, thanks for coming along with me for this week. Let me know in the comments what you read this week, or if you've read any of the ones that I did. Also, let me know your thoughts. But yeah, I'll catch you later.